We work as a team.
Absolutely.
Because we want to get the client. You know, we work for you as the client. We want to get you. We say that, you know, renting is throwing away money, right? But you have to crawl before you walk.
Absolutely.
There's always going to be renters. There's always going to be buyers. And good Lord, we need some more sellers, right?
Absolutely.
We need some more sellers, right? Because the buyers are heavily outweighing the sellers right now. I was reading this post and they said this market is like musical chairs, except for there's 4 chairs, there's 10 people, the chairs are on fire.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.
Welcome, everybody. It is Real Estate Wednesday. It is episode 99, guys. Yes, 99. That means we're one away from 100.
That's right.
As you see, I don't have Joe with me here today.
Joe replacement over here.
We have... Introduce yourself.
My name is Victor Sanchez with PMI Southern States. We're a property management firm based out of Simpsonville, South Carolina.
So look, we have some really, really good information that we're going to give you guys. If you're watching, make sure that you like, that you comment, and that you subscribe. So anytime that we have wonderful special guests on or our normal crew, you get really good information for your real estate needs here at Real Estate Wednesday. So YMANation podcast, episode 99. We're almost at 100.
Yes, you are.
So we got some big things coming up for episode 100.
It should be pay-per-view.
It should be pay-per-view?
I think it should be pay-per-view.
We're going to run that by management.
There you go.
We'll run that by management.
Let's do it.
So today we are going to dive into this, and we're going to talk about, because you're in property management. So to give you a little background of why I felt it was important to bring someone in this field on for you guys is because the housing market is crazy right now.
Absolutely.
And I wanted a perspective of someone who deals with rentals on a day-to-day basis to come in and explain to viewers how this housing market is having an impact on rentals and just kind of what you do in the property management sense as well. But to give the viewers that can't purchase right now, or they're waiting, or they're selling, and then they're having to wait for a house to be built. I'm sure you're seeing a lot of those.
All day.
So, and it's across the board. So that way you can give your insight from a different perspective. I don't deal with rentals too much, so we have someone who is an expert in this
area. That's my day-to-day, everyone. My day-to-day.
So, tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the real estate field altogether, and then you could tell me what led you into the property management specialty.
So I've been doing property management in general since 2014. I was actually managing my own properties. And basically, I didn't know what I was doing. Point blank. I did not know what I was doing.
Honesty here,
absolutely.
guys. Honesty
you
right
have
here.
to be honest, because a lot of people are out there that don't know what they're doing, and they're managing their own properties.
Right.
So I decided to rent out my properties, my personal properties, based off faith. If a person looked like they were a nice person, I would go out and say, hey, you seem like a nice person, and okay, I'll rent to you. No background check, no screening, nothing whatsoever, right? So I wouldn't go buy the properties. I wouldn't inspect the properties, because at the end of the day, I was getting a check every month. So my properties must be in good shape, right?
They must be great properties, right?
So at the end of that year lease, I would go visit my properties. And funny story is that in some of the properties, they would neither have children, and they would open the drawers, and the children would step on those drawers and make them steps and break them drawers to climb up to the top of the counters, right?
Oh, yeah.
Others, we had people subleasing, and when they were subleasing those properties, they would actually, since they were individuals, they would create their own kitchens inside my closets.
Oh, wow.
So if you will look at my closet, they literally had a small one of those plug-in type kitchens set up.
Right.
So you would see smoke and grease on my walls. So it took me and my wife to fix all of that. Now, we got into this business to make money, not to lose money. So we were spending a lot of time fixing these properties.
Right.
So once we fixed these properties, it would be weeks before we get to it because we both had a full-time job.
Right.
So it's not easy when you have a full-time job trying to fix a property at the same time. So we hired a property manager.
Let me get into that just real quick.
Yeah,
just real quick.
absolutely.
Because we have a lot of people who want to fix and flip or who want to get into the property management field. So this is just a heads up for the viewers out there that are wanting to do this, just because we have a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to get into real estate. I want to invest in property. If you are not fully engaged with it, you could run into, he's giving you
absolutely
these situations that you could run into if you're not fully engaged with your properties, you know, especially if you are working full time. Some people still have to work full time to do both, but it is very important to understand the pros and the cons.
Absolutely.
So,
but I do not encourage people to do it.
Right.
If they want to go out there and be their own property managers and be able to flip and fix, do your research first.
Right.
Make sure you vet the candidates that you have going to live in your property, not go off of faith. Reach out to someone that's professionally know the background of these people. Do a professional background check. Do a inspection of the property, making sure that they know the type of individual that's going into that property.
Right.
So going a little bit back into my story, we went and hired a property management company. Yes, by all means, a property manager will get you a better tenant, hands down. But now we're spending money on property management. So again, we go back to saying we got into this business to make money, not to spend money.
Right.
But yes, there were a bunch of fees that we needed to pay out to the property management firm. So a short time later, we came across another property management firm, which plug PMI Southern States. It's a franchise overall. And the gentleman came and visited us, and he told us exactly what the charges were, what he was going to charge us, why he was going to charge us. And, you know, we were skeptical because we were dealing with one prior to that. So we were like, oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
maybe it's going to be the same thing, maybe not. But exactly what he said, that's exactly what happened. So in that point, me with my entrepreneur mindset, I was like, why can't I just do this?
Right.
Why
It's
can
my
I just,
property.
Right.
Why can't
I just have my own franchise and manage my own properties?
Right.
And short time later, I went to one of their summits, and pretty much I didn't buy into the franchise. I bought into the networking aspect of that franchise.
Gotcha.
Every day at 4:00 between Monday and Thursday, we sit on a call, and it's multiple franchise owners discussing things that are happening currently, current events. We are involved with NARPM, which is an organization that keeps us updated on all information when it comes to property management,
Gotcha.
which is educating us consistently, which is very good. But long story short, we're here today. Now I personally own my franchise. We have multiple properties under our franchise right now, and we are still looking for many more. So
that means if you already own property and you need them managed, then how can they reach you?
So they can reach me at 864-688-9281 or visit my webpage. It's www.pmisouthernstates.com. Again, you're welcome to look through our website, see the offers. Another cool thing we do is a lot of property managers are afraid to say what they charge. We're not. we're black and white. You see it in our website. You see what we're responsible for your property. That way you see what we're responsible for, so you can hold us accountable to that.
Right.
So I'm not
Right.
only giving you the pricing, I'm also giving you what I'm accountable for, which is something
Straightforward
you don't
information
see it.
right there,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
All right. So let's get into the housing market's crazy right now.
It is.
So
It is.
I know that it's kind of everywhere because I'm in the more of the selling and the buying side of the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see it from a different vantage point, being on, you have all of these influx of people, especially coming into the upstate of South Carolina. But I've read it's all over the U.S.
It
Like
is.
the housing market is insane, right?
Everywhere.
So on that side of it, I know that there are so many people. I see it on Facebook. I see it on social media looking for rentals. Like every single day, so many people looking for rentals. What are you seeing with it being a seller's market right now? How is that impacting the rental?
It is
side of it?
impacting us positively, which is a good thing. It's a
Which
good
is a
thing.
good thing.
The impact is positive for us because, everyone is selling their homes. And they're getting 30 to 40% more than asking price, are they not?
Right.
Now, you assume that since you're getting 30 to 40% more, I can go out there and buy myself another property with the same specs that I had on my previous property.
Right. No.
Not happening. Sorry.
That's a negative. I'm
No.
telling you right now.
You're not going to get that
Yeah.
same property. You're not going to get that same square footage for the amount that you just received with a 30 or 40% extra that you're getting.
Right.
So what do I do now? Neither you're going to build.
Right.
Now with the prices of lumber, I mean, I heard they dropped today, but I don't foresee that. But
Yeah. Just
Again,
the supplies in general.
right.
Just the supplies in general.
there
to build.
was a drop. So,
Yeah.
but it's expensive to build.
Right.
But now you're backed up because some of the items that you need to put in that home are not available neither. So you're gonna have to wait for those items, right?
Right.
So what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna have to rent.
I got to rent.
So who are you gonna rent from?
Got to find somewhere. You got to find somewhere.
Come see us.
Yeah,
Come see us. www.pmisouthernstates.com. But they need to find someone to rent.
But how is that impacting how many rentals you have available?
Well, that is true. It does impact that aspect of it, but I have a lot of investors that have jumped on board with us.
Okay.
Because we offer multiple guarantees to our owners and investors. And that's a future program, so I can break down every guarantee that we offer them. But they're jumping on board with us, and these are investors that hold on to properties, and they want to just rent the property. They want that residual.
Right.
So we have quite a few properties now that are available, but they're going very quick. Now, as soon as you see one posted on my webpage, jump on it because it's going quick.
It's going quick.
Now, I also have a Rolodex of people that are looking for properties. So I don't get to post much on my websites because I already have a list of people waiting to get on properties.
That means you need to get on the list.
You get on
You
the
got to
list.
get on the list.
Get on that Rolodex. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So with the market that we're in right now, and I like to get other perspectives because you do see a different side of it than we see on our end. What are your projections for where this market is going? Because it's so crazy. You have people that have been in real estate for 20 plus years that are like, I don't even know how to operate in this market, right? Because they've never seen it like this.
So in that aspect, the rental market it's going to boom. It's booming now. It's booming now.
So you think it's just going to continue?
It's going to continue
on?
because now you got to understand, you got people trying to get out of big cities. People are tired of big cities. So where are they coming to? They're coming down south. They're coming to the country. They come in. They want that quiet. They want that humble atmosphere. So that's where we're at. We're in a very good place and a good predicament that a lot of people that I'm getting calling me are from California, Florida, Michigan, New York, New Jersey. So I got all these people calling me looking for rentals up here in South Carolina. So it's the market. It's where you want to be.
So also, if you have these calls coming in, what if someone finds you, by watching the podcast or something else? Can you refer them to the city that they're in? Are you able to hook them up with someone in your network of property managers that way?
Absolutely. We are actually, since we're a franchise, we are in 42 states and 4 overseas. So in any state that they're looking for a property, even South Carolina, they could come to me. I handle the entire region of South Carolina. I don't advertise it in the entire region, but I can manage manage the entire region of South Carolina.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
but we are in 42 states.
All right. See, good information, you guys. So he gave you the contact information for that. So what are some tips that you can give people who are in these predicaments to where they need like these short-term rentals, or, you know, I'm waiting for my house to be built. It got pushed out. I need something for 2 or 3 months. What are you seeing in that, and what tips can you give people on that?
Well, my recommendation is speak with your property manager, see if you can get on a month-to-month rental or shorter-term rental. But keep in mind, shorter-term rentals mean you're paying a little bit more money for them. So you're not going to get them for the regular rate as a longer lease term.
You got to be ready.
Now,
you got to be ready.
With that being said as well, I would see what the projections is for that build, if it's a build that you're waiting on. Because builds are taking a lot longer. They're giving you 6 months, but it's taking a lot longer than 6 months to get them built. So
yeah.
I would go for that longer term rental, pay the actual rent amount versus the shorter term rental where you'll be paying more.
See, you're hearing it. You're hearing it. So also, if they are having to get into these rentals, right? We have a lot of people who want to become homeowners on our end. And they're like, well, I got to work on my credit. I got to get my credit fixed. What are your suggestions to those people who need to rent until they get to a place where they can buy? Are there similar qualifiers for the rentals and for meeting those standards?
There are similar qualifications, but everyone goes through hard times, and everyone, or most people, don't have good or great credit. But we work with them. So how we work with them is definitely put them in a credit restoration program. So what I mean is, I'm not going to remove stuff out of your credit like master credit builders. But
Master's credit consultants?
Master's credit consultants. But I'm definitely going to be able to boost their score by having them, every time they pay their rent, I'll report it back to the credit bureaus. All 3 credit bureaus.
So you see, you get positive credit building while you're renting.
Absolutely. So yeah, once we report it, you must pay on time every time, and we'll report it back to them, and it helps them raising their score. Now, if they're really serious about increasing their credit score, we have a third-party vendor we refer them to, and they are
Master's Credit Consultants.
There you go.
So you can call at 864-249-9466, and we will definitely help you get you where you need to be to then come through the Pyramid Group with Keller Williams for all of your home buying needs. So, you know,
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, "It's just a credit score, relax."
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
the music never stops, and you know, you just you're never gonna get a chair
because you're not. I mean,
you know,
if you're not a cash buyer out there, it's not going to happen. It's
tough.
not going to happen.
And you know, we talked about the statistics on here before. 1 out of every 4 offers right now is a cash offer.
Mm-hmm.
So
and who are you going after?
Huh?
Who are you going after?
Cash buyers.
Cash buyers.
Cash buyers.
Right. So.
Because 1 out of every 4 is a cash buyer, and they're typically getting it off the sale of their property.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're selling somewhere, they're making a lot of money off of it, and then they're moving. You know, like you said, they're moving into other states where it's cheaper to buy.
It is, and
causing those prices to continue to go up in those states.
And it's not stopping. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, yeah. So, any additional information that you can give us? Just any tips that you can give people, like what they need to focus on, how to really find the best rentals, any red flags that they need to look for? Because I could tell you over this last week, I've heard some rental horror stories.
Yeah. I hear them as well.
Yeah,
I hear them as well.
Give them some tips on what are their rights as the renters and how to look for those things when they're getting into that situation.
Absolutely. So as a renter, you must ensure that the property manager is looking for your best interest. I don't only look out for the owner's best interest or the investor's best interest. I also look out for the tenant's best interest. So what we do for the tenant is part of that credit building program that we have. We also enroll them in a program that they don't have to put a deposit down on a property, which is something unheard of. So what they do is they get enrolled with a third-party vendor, which is an insurance company. They'll pay an insurance company that amount every month. And if anything was to happen with the property, that insurance company will be responsible instead of them having
insurance.
Right. Well, that's another thing that we offer. That's a side of the deposit.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, that's a side of the deposit. So the renter's liability insurance, we offer it as well through a third party. I mean, you can find it as a renter on your own, but we also have a third party vendor to offer that to you for $12.95.
How important would you say that is for a renter?
That is very, very important because you never know what may happen in the property. I mean, if you got children, you got animals, they might damage something on the property. So instead of the owners coming after you or the property manager coming after you, you have an insurance to cover that stuff. So you don't have to worry about it. We also offer a program that every time you pay your rent, we incentivize you by giving you gift cards or giving you stuff back so you can make purchases for your home or whatever it is you want to buy. So we have all these programs available to you. But tips, going back to tips that I can offer them is definitely make sure that they have your best interests at heart because there are a lot of people out there that don't. So make sure that they're trying to look out for you as best as they can.
Right. Would you say renting from a property management company suffices more than renting from an individual?
Yes, because we being licensed, we have to adhere to the Fair Housing Act.
Okay.
As being a regular independent homeowner that's renting his property, he doesn't have to be. So he can discriminate by all means and sources.
Right.
So,
he's not held to the same accountable
standards
right
at all.
Right.
So we don't do that at all. I mean, not that I was doing it as an independent owner, but we don't do that.
Some people do.
All. Oh yeah.
You never know who you're renting
Absolutely.
from either.
Yep.
So you have to be careful. Making sure the houses are up to code, making sure they're up to par, and knowing that a management company is going to come in and inspect those properties and look and make sure that everything is in working order is very important. I mean, I hear stories of the plumbing's leaking, the roof is leaking, and they're not doing anything. Well,
they're not coming to fix it, or whatever the case may be. But a key factor is to them to always make sure that when they go in the property, they're inspecting everything. We have a 136-point inspection check on that home.
Y'all hear that? 136, guys.
So we are not going to put someone in a house that doesn't meet that criteria. Another thing they need to look out for, which we do in our end, smoke alarms. That is crucial. A lot of homes don't have smoke alarms. And, that's risky. That's a risk that's a home renter is actually taking by not having an alarm in the house, which is a big deal.
Right.
Big deal.
Right. So see, just getting this little tidbits should be helping you guys to understand if you're a renter right now, if you're experiencing these issues or anything like that, and you're looking for another rental, then you can contact PMI Southern States.
Yes. At www.pmiSouthernStates.com. Let me get that plug in. Right.
And give them your number again so they can.
It's the office number is 864-688-9281. 864-688-9281.
Y'all better get on the Rolodex, right?
Yes, get on that Rolodex.
Well, this has been really fun and informational because, I don't deal with rental properties a lot. So it's good to get information just being on my end as an agent too, that I can pass along with clients who are in situations because I can tell you right now, I can't tell you how many new builds that we have pushed out for months.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about like a month. I'm talking about months that we're supposed to close. So you got to be prepared.
Those 6 to 8 months they gave you, look for a couple of months extra on top of that.
Right. So, we enjoyed you. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
An honor and a pleasure.
Yes. So, any questions about real estate, you can always contact The Pyramid Group with Keller Williams, 864-249-1437. Any rental questions you have, you can contact PMI Southern States.
864-688-9281.
Oh, Friday is episode 100.
Come on now.
100.
Everyone needs to be on there.
And we need for y'all to be ready.
It's going to be big.
ready.
It's going to be big.
So, thank you guys again, and we'll see you for episode 100.
With the boss's view, you gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.